slowly falling down cooler闇へ but never going back touch 向かえどうして高く上げてなお大ボーナなんてもうグッバイしょこりもなくファイナカマと Need another day I will run away from nothing no more どこまでも笑がってこう今超えてく Also ready to break it up I'm not afraid yeah break it Give me the point throw in the dark 自分の力に変え wipe out 今ねじ曲げる視線 I never fall in I never ever care about them 今立ち向かう and I defeat myself I got ghosts, keep myself safe from back foot I got ghosts, keep myself see a suspect Time away from me, stop my shadow Smoke, let us set my tongue on a surface I could Nobody knows, cause I can't flow Live fast for the
Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This is going to be an intriguing topic that I'm going to talk about. Some people might hate and dislike what I have to say, but I feel like this is something that I want to address, and it's not about me personally, but it's me calling on my own race out of respect and being a fellow black person myself. I feel like a lot of people need to hear this, and whether you disagree or not, I'm gonna say what needs to be said. So, as I'm sure you can read from the title, this is about why a lot of black people are pathological liars. The reason why I want to bring this up is I'm talking about I've dealt with this like from personal experience, and you hear it on the news sometimes. But I'm saying this because of what I'm saying this because of what I've experienced, what I've seen, what I've heard. So to me, it doesn't come off as a surprise, and it gets very irritating as a black person, you having to go through with another person's bullshit, and they expect you to believe it. And trust me, I tell this. I spoke about this like in person with other people that I know, and they had disagreements. Other fellow black people understood what I meant. They knew I meant no harm what I'm referring to, but either way, I'm gonna get straight to the point. The reason why a lot of black people tend to be pathological liars, I truly believe they try to like use like their race as an excuse, and what I mean their race as an excuse, they're trying to make it seem like because of their ancestors, what they went through, even though they never experienced it. For somehow the people to actually believe what they have to tell them because of like their it might be coming from their ancestors, like oppression. It could be their upbringing, bad parenting, which a lot of times is the case, or people that are just outright trying to be slick. And that's one thing I find very irritating about, and not just black people. I find very irritating when people try so hard to be slick, like they're actually outsmarting anybody. If they're really slick, you'd actually have to prove us wrong, and you really need to do that. And at the same time, the reason why a lot of black people, and again, anybody can do this. The reason why a lot of them do that also because like yes, unfortunately it is, some of it believe that it's the norm in the community to go out lie in order like to avoid criticism, so they wouldn't be judged, to be able to fit in with certain people, to make themselves look cool, or a lot of times it's to either get other people in trouble. And that's the one thing that, again, I've spoke about lying for, but lying is not something that should be taken lightly. But the thing, and again, what also proves that they're also pathological liars, and I don't want people to get this misconstrued. I don't want people to treat it like this is only black people, but I'm saying it from what I've dealt with. Like, especially if you know there's a black person and you know they're a self-hater, they have low self-esteem, and they're trying to cover their tracks, and they're in complete denial, saying that they have anything against the race, but in reality they do. Because, like, how you know a black person has self-hate, whether you may be referring to me, the difference is that I'm not trying to change my skin tone. I don't advocate white supremacy. I don't advocate racism. I've never obliged that type of behavior. Um, that's not something I would follow through with. Why? Because it's completely senseless, and it's easy, and you can easily avoid it. There are a lot of things you can easily simply not do. But there are a lot of black people who have a hard time, like basically holding themselves accountable. That's the main reason why they lie to. And again, a lot of other people do that. I'm not just sitting there, but like, because I mentioned about this guy before, and I hate to say it, hate to bring up this guy, but I mentioned the black guy who happened to be a race trader, and I'm fully, and I do have the text messages, but I'm not gonna really showcase it here. I do have it in my other videos, but he's proven to me that, like, he's an outright coon, and a person doesn't have to tell you otherwise. It's like what my opinions do. You said, actions speak louder than words. Because, and I hate to say this, but there are black people that will prove your point without having to tell you directly how they're feeling, or what they're thinking. You'll know for yourself. But and the reason why it also irritates me is, and I hate to say this, because I don't feel comfortable talking about this, but I feel like I have to bring it up. Whenever you have proof, whenever you call them out, like, when you try to convince them, they're always constantly in denial. They never want to admit it. And this is not every black person, but I feel like I'm curious as to why some of these people, why some people in the community just refuse to accept accountability. Why they just can't admit that they're wrong and just move on. Because the more you do that, it just proves how untrustworthy you are. It means you can never be trusted. And also creates this stigma, the stereotype towards black people, how dangerous they can be, not just physically, but verbally. And that's why we're looked down upon. And some people say I may be exaggerating, but that's really the reason why too I bring this up. We are stereotyped because black people, not only can they be dangerous physically, but verbally, and they feel that they could use that to their advantage to get what they want. But at the same time, is that those kind of people do that to their own kind as well, not just other races. So people really need to be able to, like, reflect on themselves and figure what they can do to actually be able to fit in with people, be able to, like, get people to accept them for who they are, to be able to, like, build relationships, get the moral support that they've been hoping for, besides, like, reparations, and hopefully, and it would be nice, but do not expect, and that's the thing, do not expect everything to be handed to you. That's the issue with some of these black liars. They expect a handout, and although I'm black, that's why they lie. Because another thing is, that's really the case. It's either they don't want to put the effort and rather get something for free. But at least, like, the thing is, I'll admit that we have some black people who are successful, but then you have others that are trying to put other black people down whenever, because they're either jealous or they can be able to, like, reach that skill level. They don't have the chance of keeping up with that person. Why? Because they don't have the confidence and motivation to be able to, like, make a name for themselves. And that's really the case, you guys. But again, lying does not help. if anything, it leads a lot of distrust, not only with other people but within the community. And then at the same time, is that people need to realize that it's also going to bring hate amongst one another, against each other too, in the community. So that's why I feel like it's important to try and like be 100 with each other, try to like cooperate, and try to see one another and figure out how we can work it out, how I can work things out. But unfortunately, and I hate to say this, I'm not trying to be too long with this video, but there are just black people out there that will never change. And an example would be EDP, Mr. Cupcake Man. There are black people that have proven, and I've seen it, I've read the news, I've witnessed it. There are just black people out there that can't be changed, that don't want to change, and they can never be fixed, and just want to remain a completely negative person. And that's how a lot of people look at black people, is completely negative. Again, being liars, being outright criminals, being a bunch of con artists, as well as being violent. But people really need to like reflect on themselves and try to like understand what I meant when I said all this earlier. Everything that I just brought up right now, they really need to take into consideration. You can criticize my videos rather than insult me, but at least try to be prone and just be adamant about what I have to say, and then figure out whether my points are clear or not. If you can actually get if you can comprehend what I'm saying. And that's all I'm really trying, guys. But this is me just being open about it, and I'm not afraid to say it, but I feel like it had to be said. But overall, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.